Hello guys, my name is Glurmit and today I'm going to be going over some teams that you can use in hard mode Conquest to do well. Now this may help you max crate, this could also just be helping you beat the final boss or just get towards those later crates in Conquest. So there is 7 teams here, technically there's 10, but we're going to group 3 of them into one because they're basically the same team. So to begin with, we have Commander Luke Skywalker, and before I start guys, I just want to say a lot of these teams are going to be teams that will work no matter the data disk that are used, because obviously they do change, which is why some teams are left out, but they'll be in the notable mentions later on. So the first team is Commander Luke Skywalker. Now this team will just be hardware Conquest on its own basically. If you never run out of stamina, this team would never stop winning. With the right data disks, it's insane. Even without data disks, it's very powerful, and it can punch up those constant exposes. Being able to do all of that fun stuff that CLS teams do means you can work your way through and into the higher tiers, like the Relic 7 and 8 sectors, and it's just really nice team to have that a lot of you will have. The next team is going to be Beskar Mando with Han and Chewie. This is a team that can work as a little bit more data disk dependent, mainly on debuffs like Amplify, Agony, for example, and it's the same with Dash down here. Now the reason these are all grouped together is because they all use Han and Chewie. These two are just so similar, the Dash team, the Beskar Mando team, that I just want to group them all in one. Both of these are typically ones you're going to be using for feats such as no unaligned Force users or no Galactic Legends. Both of these teams will work fantastic there. Now the next team we're going to cover is Phoenix. Now Phoenix actually works at pretty low gear, so in case you guys are wondering, I did all of the Phoenix kills without doing the bugged whatever it was in the current Conquest, and I did it with this team here guys. I did it with this, and then if I didn't do it with that, I did it with this here. Now obviously this team is higher relic and it makes sense that it would win, but when I was using this one at the time, Sabine was gear 12, Zeb was gear 12, Chopper was gear 12, and Rex was like gear 11, right? Hera was like relic 3, and yeah, I didn't have good mods on, and I was able to clear even the relic 8 teams. Now obviously this was a little bit more dependent, especially without the gear on Rex. You're looking at going in against teams such as GI or teams that are very debuff heavy, such as Night Sisters. Now if you went in against any of those, the enemy team doesn't take a turn, you win, and you can go down to 50% stamina. So it's a nice team that does work at lower gears. Now obviously I'm not saying you're going to be able to run this team in sector 5 or whatever and kill relic 8s if you don't have one relic on the team. But if you modded well, you have the key Zetas, which is basically just Rexes, you can absolutely do well in some of those other phases. So I would definitely recommend this guys. Great team, and it does beat some of those harder nodes. Next up we actually have Adrad. Now again guys, this is such a good team to use, and the reason being, the AI's dumb. They will target Jin, right? So you can run this at lower gear. Obviously if you've got Profundity, you have Adrad anyway, which I know a lot of you either have or are working on. Now I left the other slots blank because you're basically just going to bring Rogue One, or you can even bring just Rebel Fighters. Now a lot of them are Rogue One, so there's carryover there. But the benefit of Adrad is any Empire team you go up against will be a guaranteed win. And we know that there are a lot of them, right? Inquisitors, Imperial Troopers, teams like that. And Adrad is really good. And the other benefit is, like, if you go up against certain teams that, such as, you know, Darth Revan's or teams like that, you can really cheese it by having them just target Jin constantly. This is a great team, and one that a lot of you will have. Now the next team is one that a lot of you won't have, but it's one that does work at low gear, and I can confirm that because I was running it at low gear myself. So the team is Seer, Cal, Kylo Ren and Mast. Now you can run this without any relics other than crew, because if you have the Zeta on Seer's lead, which is over here, you are going to see that it kind of juices them, gives them some protection up, increases your offense, all of that fun stuff, and it also gives you the turn meter gains. Now it's just really nice guys. Seer is honestly really powerful. With crew, he's basically just going to counterattack. He's not going to die. As long as you go in against a team that does not AoE, you will be perfectly fine. And a lot of you will have a Relic 7 crew because of Kylo Ren or because of other reasons. So it's a great team to run. Obviously it's got benefits right now because of unaligned Force users in Conquest. However, it's one that will stand the test of time. You have a character in Seer that is going to juice crew. It's just an ungodly tanky variant. You're then going to have the insta-kill with Seer. Once they've taken off turns, you kill whoever you want. It doesn't matter if they're Relic 7, it doesn't matter if they're Relic 8 in your Gear 11. As long as you have the Zeta on Seer's special here, you will be able to kill anyone. And then if you're worried about 3-starring, you also have Seer who can inflict the damage immunity, so when crew does get weak, which may happen, you damage immunity him with the special and you are laughing. Really strong team. And like I said guys, I was running this in Conquest when Seer was lower than Gear 12 and Cal was lower than Gear 12, and I was seeing great results. Bonus points if you have Amplify Agony, because then crew is going to basically deal damage and it's kind of fun. Honestly guys, you're basically just waiting for Seer to one-shot everyone. Fantastic team nonetheless. Next up we have the absolute god of Conquest, guys. If this is without doubt the best team you can use, it's Wookiees. Now the reason being, and it is Zeta dependent, if you have better together guys, what it's going to be doing is sorry, it's not better together. My bad, guys. It's actually the lead. If you have the it's all in the fur, what's going to happen is you're going to reflect damage. And it doesn't matter if you got Gear 11, it doesn't matter if you got Relic 7 like I do, as long as you got some form of Wookiee, damage is being reflected. Now Wookiees are so tanky anyway, and you can juice them up data discs and whatever, data grunts, whatever, I can't remember what they're called, but you get the point. You can juice the Wookiees up and yeah, basically they will hit you, they'll die. That's basically it guys, especially in the later phases. So if you're looking for a team, you know, just to 1-star those nodes or beat those boss battles, Wookiees is the way. The reflection of damage is ridiculous. Whenever an allied Wookiee is critically hit, they reflect 50% of damage dealt back on the attacker. Now it says this can't defeat enemies, but hey, just ignore that, because in Conquest you're going to be defeating them anyways because they're just going to be so low. Fantastic team. And next up guys, we are coming towards the end of the list. We have 2 teams left and one of them is Grievous. Now Grievous with BB-8 is all you need to be beating the boss nodes, most of them, especially the non-GL ones. And this team will just last you so well. A lot of the time there's droid kills, target lock you need to be getting in Conquest. Grievous will be doing that. The other benefit is a lot of you will have Grievous at Relics because a lot of you have JMK, or a lot of you found Separatists back when GOTB was a prime focus for accounts. So because of this, you're going to have the team, so why not utilize it? BB-8 in here means you can outrun the opponent even when they've got turn meter manipulations, aka over-prepared and all that fun stuff. So really this team is insane and it's one you guys should be using. And the final team for today is the Geos. Now this one is one a lot of you have a Gear 12. It will last you into the Relic 3s and 4s, so that's what, Sector 3 and 4, or Sector 2 even, one of those sectors, I can't remember guys on top of my head. But Geos are just so good because you can stack them with mastery data discs that increase your mastery when you attack out of turn. Geos just start one-shotting, and it's just really nice. Now obviously there are certain teams you wouldn't take them in against, but in terms of a team that a lot of you have that do work in hard mode Conquest, Geos are one of them. Now guys, like I said, this list was supposed to be teams that aren't completely data disc reliant. I didn't include any Galactic Legends or major characters such as General Skywalker, Jedi Knight Luke, or any of those. I also tried to avoid all the newer characters. I know Seer's on the list, I know Rex is on the list, and I know that Tarth was on the list, but the caveat here is they all work at low gear. Obviously Seer needs a Zeta and Tarth needs a Zeta for them to work, but these are all teams you can use in hard mode Conquest that maybe you have some of them, maybe you don't, and maybe you can work on them. If you have these teams, I'm not saying you're going to max, but your life's going to be a lot easier. Now teams that were good that I didn't include: General Skywalker, Jedi Knight Luke, Padme, just regular clones. Father first, you don't even need gas necessarily. Shakti clones. We also have teams such as Resistance Missouri, and we also have the GL such as JML Wattamble. But obviously I wanted to keep this list a bit shorter, but those are also all good teams, some more data disk reliant than others. Anyways guys, I hope this helps one of you or some of you out there. My name is Glurmit, and as always guys, have a glurming day.